WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, let's do it, Jarom, Tanner, and Nolly.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB Podcast, a part of the Hockey Podcast Network, presented by DraftKings and Raycon. It's Jarom, it's Tanner, it's Nolly. What is up, guys?
We're in Toronto, bud.
Atlantic Day, baby.
Atlantic. Let's see what's going on.
Unfortunately for everyone, we all only have Leafs jerseys for this. So
yeah,
I probably could have thrown my St. Pat one on just to make it a little bit different. But
nah. We all wear the same jersey. That's fine. You can just see the NHL logo. It's fine. Yeah, Kessel.
All right. So yeah, as you can tell,
I should invest in a Buffalo jersey though.
Yes, definitely. Maybe a Gibson one, but we will get to that in a little bit. As you can tell by our jerseys, we are going to be doing the Atlantic Division preview. We're going to be hitting up all four divisions over the next couple weeks. We're going to just keep this really simple. There's not much hot stock anyway, so we're just going to write it into it. Is there?
There's Anders Bjork signed with the Ice Hogs.
Yes.
Ice Hogs talk.
Ice Hogs talk.
There is the fact that Connor Bedard is a Blackhawk. That's I wanted to put there. So
we finally got to see him in his gear, Blackhawk setup.
God.
And comparison video of him and McDavid on the ice together, just doing disgusting. Whatever. We can move on. It's fine.
Oh, and the great fact that his great uncle was a member of the Blackhawk for 22 games in the 20s.
Yeah. And we are exactly 8 weeks out from watching him in his first NHL game. So,
oh baby. Well, that's a good start. That's a good start.
Hockey, baby. All right. So yeah, we're gonna start with the Atlantic Division. We're gonna go in reverse order from how the teams finished last season. We're gonna set up a timer just to keep it a little moving, because some teams don't deserve as much time as the others. Sorry, Montreal. So yeah, we will kick it off with Montreal. My main takeaway from them, I have a couple storylines written out. Are they going to be sneaky good this year, or is it going to be more of the same?
It's definitely more of the same.
My answer is to that question.
I was going to say, here's what they brought in and what they lost during the offseason. They ended up bringing in Alex Newhook. I can't remember when that trade was. Oh, it was during. It was right before
the draft.
Yeah, right before the draft.
No. Yeah.
It's like you almost got it. Other than that, I don't really recognize any of the names on the guys that they brought in. Let's see. Who did they lose? They fucking lost Dennis Gurianov, who they got from Dallas. Jonathan Drouin's no longer there. He went to Colorado. That Chris Tierney, I don't even know he was on their team. That's funny. That's it.
Well, they also moved Mike Hoffman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pitlick.
Yeah, Rem Pitlick. They
acquired and retraded Petrie.
Yes. Currently, on Cap Friendly, they have their lines as Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, Josh Anderson, second line of Kirby Dach, Sean Monahan, and Brendan Gallagher. That's a weird line. Third line, Newhook, Dvorak, Armia, and fourth line, Harvey Pinard, Jake Evans, and Juraj Slavkovsky. And then their defense is not anything to be too concerned about. Michael Matheson, David Savard, Caden Gooley, Jonathan Kovacic, I don't know, Jordan Harris, and then Arbor Checkeye with Jake Allen and Samuel Montembeault in between the pipes.
They picked
that low
too.
Do what?
Casey DeSmith from Pittsburgh too.
Yeah, they got Casey DeSmith from Pittsburgh. That's true.
Now they have 3 that can play at least. Sorry, Carey Price.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna be a fun team to watch. Honestly, they're gonna be sneaky on some teams. I feel like some teams are gonna take them lightly. but like they got a lot of young guys, and St. Louis just like have fun, which is like obviously exactly what Cole Caulfield needed to like get back on the horse of scoring goals. That kid's gonna be fucking lighting it up this year, I think. Him and Suzuki are just nasty together. Doc with another year under his belt, it's gonna make trading him away feel worse. But I feel like he's gonna exceed because he's in this situation with St. Louis and all those other young players. But they're just so young. Their D's not great. Their goaltending's not great. Like
they're like kind of injury prone.
Yeah, that too. I mean, yeah, with guys like Josh Anderson, Sean Monahan, and Brendan Gallagher in your top six, like you're not having that. That's for sure. But yeah, like they're gonna be fun to watch for sure, and they're gonna be sneaky on some teams, but they're not gonna be very good.
No, they're gonna be one of those teams where it's like you want to tune in when they're playing other bad teams because it's just gonna be one of those games where it's just gonna be like, all right, lesser to yeah. All right. Anything else on Montreal?
I want to see Arbor Chekai just absolutely fucking destroy people again because he was the talk of the town last year at the start of the season. Then he got hurt. He's pretty fucking fun to watch.
Yeah, he's funny off the ice too. He's just like, yeah, I was bagging groceries during COVID. I didn't think I'd make. No, he's like a house name player and one of the best nicknames. They just call him Wi-Fi. Like that's fucking unreal.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And his brother just got drafted to the Canadiens too.
Yeah, yeah, that and I'm excited to see what Slafkovsky can do in his second year. Just kind of, I like watching like, I mean, number one pick. Like you want to see. He had an okay first year, but was on a bad team. So
he only played 39 games last year.
Yeah, because he got hurt big. Didn't he like blown up too towards the end of the season?
Did he get hurt? I just thought he was not good.
No, I mean,
I think he did get hurt at some point. I don't really.
He's on their injury reserve list right now.
That makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. It's always exciting to see how like those top guys that aren't great in their first year, how they can do in their sophomore season.
Yeah. Do we have another Lafreniere in our hands with him? I guess that's a storyline to look at to this year.
Yeah, but we'll see.
All right, moving along. Next up is Detroit. They finished last year 35-37-10 for 80 points. I guess the big thing with this, guys are planning taking the next step, making some big moves, bringing some guys in. A lot of questionable moves. Is this team ready to go back to greatness, or is Yzerman feeling the heat a little bit, so he's just trying to throw Hail Marys and see if something lands?
Bring it into back.
Yeah.
But this team is not going to be good. I don't think, personally. Like, you look at their fucking defense, woof.
Why is that, Nolly?
You got Mo Sider on the, I mean, that's your top guy, and he's sick. Like, that kid is unreal. It's crazy, like, that he went to Detroit, and he is playing very similar to Nick Lidstrom's style, where he bats pucks out of the air, pokes everything, is always in the passing lane, can move the puck offensively, throws huge hits. Like, that kid's nasty. But, like, you go out and get Jeff Petrie on a good deal, but him and Ben Sherratt, and then your bottom pair is Shane Gostisbehere and Justin Hall, and you got Ville Husso and James Reimer in that. I don't know, man. That back end is not good at all.
It's not terrible. Like, I feel like they might be able to surprise me. Shane Gostisbehere had 41 points last year.
Yeah, he had a good season.
Two worst turnovering defensemen in the league last year too.
Hey,
we're top two.
You can't have all the nice stuff. But he had 31 points in 52 games in Arizona, and then 10 more in Carolina. I think the bones that this team is putting together is looking really good, though. Because, I mean, your first line, if it's like DeBrincat and Larkin, and I don't know who they have listed right now, but David Perron. I don't know about that. Lucas Raymond would probably be better fit. That's kind of nasty.
Yeah.
They brought in JT Compher. They made the trade for Klim Kostin and Kyler Yamamoto, and then just fucking bought out Yamamoto.
These fucking trade and like buyouts, like I cannot keep track. I can't keep track of where guys are actually at, let alone where they got bought out from.
Right. I'm curious. There's the one kid, that Elmer Soderblom kid, who's Arvid's brother, who's
Yeah.
6'8". He had only a little bit of time last year, but he was kind of impressive. It's kind of funny just seeing the big guys that can like kind of stick handle and fucking shoot. Um, yeah, I mean, they're on paper, like the team's not extremely impressive because it's a lot of spare parts, but they might be able to surprise some people. It's just going to be tough. Like you said, that back end's kind of tough. Bringing in Justin Hall and paying him 3.4 for 3 years is kind
Ooh.
of a questionable move,
Brutal.
especially with the modified no trade.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that. Oh,
And like you said, like the bones of this, like they're not bad, and they're like
Yeah.
built something, but it's like how long can you build towards something before you start like I don't know, actually having something on paper here. Like I mean, it's just
gotta do something. Like,
Yeah.
and
I
it's
like I like the addition of JT Confer. I think that was really good. I think Jeff Petrie is going to be just a solid kind of defenseman. I mean, they're not winning a cup with Jeff Petrie, right? Like he's 35. They brought him in. I don't know why. Um, maybe
impeach.
to kind of show Moritz Seider or something a little bit different. Like I don't know. They both right side defensemen. I don't. But Dylan Larkin and Alex DeBrincat could be sick fucking together,
oh yeah.
and maybe they can convince like Patty Kane to fucking sign there.
I don't
Can
know.
DeBrincat, Larkin. Oh,
Yeah, that would be sick.
oh.
Yeah. Tracy Cat and D is gonna be sick to watch, but I don't know. I'm not tuning into too many Detroit games, honestly.
No.
For y'all.
Anything else? Anything else
Who
for
did
Detroit?
they lose? They lost what, like it was a fucking what's his name, the goalie, Nedeljkovic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pew Suter is not there anymore.
Kubalik got
That's
traded.
that's it. Oh, where did I forgot where Kubalik go?
Ottawa.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He was part of that package.
On the back end.
I mean, Lucas Raymond, maybe he has a turnaround year from his sophomore slump, Maybe
He'll
he
pick
puts up a little bit more.
I think he'll be a lot better this year.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see what DeBrincat can do because now you have the two hometown kids playing
Yeah.
on the same line. Like that'd be pretty
It's
cool. D Boss and DeBrincat.
it's weird, like because of the past rivalry between the Hawks and the Wings, that I'm excited for DeBrincat in Detroit. I'm excited to
Yeah.
see what he does there, and the idea of like two Detroit kids bringing this team like back to being good. It's fucking cool to me. Like I think that's an awesome storyline, and I don't think it's gonna take place this year, but I think if it's gonna happen, I mean those two guys are more than capable of doing it.
Yeah.
We'll
So,
see.
all right, we're moving on to Ottawa. Last year they finished 39, 35, and 8 for 86 points. What I have here as a storyline is like, did they make the right moves to be a playoff team? I know they were kind of on the cups last year. They made big strides in what they have in the past couple of years. Add some good pieces. They did lose to Brinkett, but I feel like they made up for that with Tarasenko and bringing in Kubalik and all that kind of stuff too. So Ottawa playoff team potentially.
It's possible. I think their biggest addition by subtraction was Cam Talbot because he did not play well. And then they brought in Corpusalo, who has shown that he can play on a team that doesn't play very well defensively with Columbus. And then he got to a team that played well defensively in LA and was just like, oh shit, he's fucking good. And then LA was like, no, it's okay. We're gonna sign Cam Talbot. I love when teams do that. They sign each other's goalies. I think having Josh Norris back is going to be big for him because he played 8 games last year and he's pretty fucking good. He had 35 goals and 55 points the year before.
Having a full year of Chikrin too is going to be
that's going to be helpful. Anton Forsberg, hopefully he
him.
can stay healthy too because he was actually showing like what the Hawks probably wanted from him when they traded for him, like back in
what we all thought he was
2016.
gonna be was what he kind of showed last year.
Oh, Timmy Stützle though. Oh fuck, he's gonna.
Salo, like if you could get them like battling it out for a number 1 spot, it could be like a dangerous like back. Like I think that could be a very dangerous tandem. But yeah, Timmy Stutz,
Fucking 100 points.
Jimmy.
I think you can put money on it. Yeah, 100 points. It's Timmy Stutes. Absolutely.
I mean, especially with
Brady.
the prospect of Tarasenko on his line, him
Yeah.
feeding Tarasenko, like I think Tarasenko's so established in this league as a goal scorer. I like with a guy like Stutzla feeding him, and then with Kachuk in front of the net, like I could see him popping like at least 30 this season, and Stutzla assisting on like almost all of them.
They're also going to have another year of the kid Jake Sanderson, who they got at like fifth overall in 2020. He had 32 points in his rookie season last year. That's pretty sick. And having a kid like that who's going to put up points and doesn't have the pressure of being on the first line because it's going to end up being like Chikrin and fucking Shabbat. Man, yeah, this team looks. I think this team looks really good on paper. It's just it looked really good on paper last year too.
Do you think this team looks better this year or last year?
This year.
I think this year.
Yeah.
I like the addition of Korpisalo.
Yeah.
I like the full year of Chikrin. Fucking Stutzla and Chitchok are just disgusting, and they get another year of building on what they did at 21 and 23 years old. Like they're only going to get better. It's pretty nasty. Yeah, bringing in Tarasenko, DeBrincat just had a hard time there. I don't know what it was. Kubalik, maybe he'll show like his first year. He always like a good first year at teams, like good first year with the Hawks, good first year with Detroit. Maybe he'll have a great first year in Ottawa too. Like who knows?
They have him like put on the third line with Shane Pinto and Matthew Joseph. Like that's a solid third line.
That is a solid third line.
Third line.
Shane Pinto had 35 last year. Kubalik had 45. Jeez. Yeah, Jake Batherson had 62. Giroux had 79 last year. Are you kidding me? That's like a quiet almost point per game.
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest thing I think is getting Josh Norris back.
Yeah,
because he's gonna put up a ton of fuck, man, it's gonna be good.
Dude, they have a solid, potentially a solid top six forward unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
This is like just another like kind of like Montreal, but definitely gonna be better. But like just a fun fucking team to watch. Like I mean, you got Kachuk on your like one of the Kachuk brothers on your team. That's fun, and you got Timmy Stutes. Like that kid's fucking nasty. He's so much fun to watch. He's so good with the puck. Like
yeah, that team got shut out by the Blackhawks last year though, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah, that is true.
5-0. I was there.
Losers. Would you say this might be the most improved team in this division, or?
Possibly. I could see that. But like it's crazy because it's not like they added a ton. Like they lost DeBrincat, which is kind of huge, but like bringing in Tarasenko and bringing in Korpisalo, and then like you said, like having Chikrin now rather than just from the trade deadline, I think it's gonna all fit a little bit better.
Yeah, because I mean, we'll get to the other teams, but it seems like a lot of teams lost guys. You know, like they didn't add it.
Yeah,
Ottawa lost, like you said, to bring it, but they added a good amount. And like the next thing we're going to talk about, Buffalo, I would love to say that they added John Gibson and they steal the show, but they still podcast.
All right, well, let's move on to Buffalo. Last year, 42, 33, and 7 for 91 points. They were 1 point out of the playoffs. And hey, you just took my storyline from me. When are they gonna trade for John Gibson?
See, I don't think they're gonna, which is fucking
so.
At this point, because like I don't know, like their goaltending's fine, but you could have an established fucking goaltender.
You can have the established goaltender that shows like Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and fucking Devin Levi, like, hey, like you guys battle it out for the backup and like get better as I fucking handle this for the 3 years that my contract is like left, and then they can take over.
We keep beating the fucking drum, but like he's at what 5.5 or something like that for
it's
3
like six even. I'm
Dude,
pretty sure.
That's insane for a Gibson. Like, how do you not just be like, yeah, that's exactly what we need? And they have fucking plenty of cap space to like take that. Well, they actually have
6.4. I think Buffalo is just so scared of just becoming Buffalo 2.0 of like gearing up and fucking trying to make moves and then just absolutely shitting the bed and just ruining everything. And then you trade away all your fucking star players.
Assets, and then
they all end up in like Florida or Vegas, and you're fucking just watching them fucking battle for a cup.
Their problem is they need to go one season without a 10-game losing streak. Like they literally do it.
Yeah.
If you do that this year, you win one of those games. Literally one, you're probably in the playoffs. Like you're 1 point back, you know? Like
yeah.
You go to a shootout in one of those and you get a fucking point and you might be pushing for a spot. Like it's just so frustrating every year. Every year, like they lose like 3 or 4 in a row, and Tanner, it's money every year. Here it comes. It just
yeah. Like, you can always bet, well, except for last season, but it was always bet on the Leafs losing in 7, and then always bet on the Buffalo Sabres starting hot and then losing 10 in a row. It's fucking.
But it was 2 years ago. I think they won 10 straight and lost 10 straight.
Yeah.
Like, do that.
It was 2019 when Tampa like fucking set the record for like most points in a season. At one point, Buffalo was in first.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
And it was like December.
Buffalo's good, and then they just fucking fell off big time.
Everybody's like, "Oh, is this the year for Buffalo?" No, it's not. But maybe this time.
Post Eichel now. So
I mean, everything's going right for them though too. It's like they finally have players that want to be there. They have talent that wants to be there. You got potential, Dahlin finally coming in his own. Owen Power,
so good.
Owen Power finally came up, and like it's starting to show like why he was the first overall pick. I mean, we do talk about this all the time. Defensemen take a little bit more time to mature and adjust to the NHL, but it's like they have all the right pieces right now. And then they bring in Eric Johnson, who is going to be huge to mentor those young defensemen.
And Connor Clifton.
And Connor Clifton, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, man, they just have like a great mix of young fucking talented kids, man. If Alex Tuch can stay healthy, he's like a point per game in Buffalo.
Yeah. He's a little over. He was 79 points in 74 games last year.
Yeah.
They have that factor where it's like they're young and they're talented and they're just going out and having fun, which is like the like scariest thing you can be, because you don't realize like what you're doing until like the season's over and you're like, fuck, we almost made the playoffs this year. Like we were just out there just having a good time together. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like a fun group to be around, and they just enjoy actually being at the rink, which obviously was not a very Buffalo thing the past fucking, I'd say 15 to 20 years. Like guys are talking about it. Like, so it sucks too. Cause it's like, I feel like that's a team that you want in the playoffs just because how great that fan base is and how nuts that places can get during playoffs, and like how much those fans just absolutely love everything hockey.
And I'm looking at this too. They still have 4 forwards that were drafted in the first round between 2022 or 2021 and 2023 in their system, waiting to come up and make a play. And they have one defenseman prospect too that was drafted in the first round, 31st in 2019. So it's like, just kind of going back to what you guys were saying earlier, it's like you have the pieces. Take the fucking chance and bring that next level. Like you guys are 1 or 2 pieces away. Fucking do it. Like, come on.
And I think it's like adding Gibson or like even Hellebuck, like adding that goaltending, that like veteran goaltending. I think that's exactly what they would need, because I feel like it's, if you bring in like like Eric Johnson and Connor Clifton, they're showing that they're going to be like bottom pair guys, which makes sense. They're getting older. They're not going to eat up a ton of minutes when you have Dahlin and fucking Owen Power going to eat up a ton of minutes. Like bringing in like a established veteran like forward, I feel like doesn't make a ton of sense, because you have those older guys there, and you don't want to break up that Skinner Thompson Tuch line. You know what I mean? Like they're just to go so well. So I feel like if you brought in like a high-end forward or a veteran forward, it's just going to kind of break up the chemistry a bit. Where if you just bring in that goalie, dude, it's going to rejuvenate everything even more.
Honestly, I think like, because Anaheim would probably want like a goalie in return, just fucking give him Luukkonen. Like Luukkonen for Gibson and like a first and like I don't know, maybe a little bit extra, but like who says no if you're Anaheim? Like you can get a potential like starter of the future because you're getting rid of yours, and then you fucking get another first rounder. And I mean, if Buffalo wants to be serious, that's a late fucking first rounder because like they just missed the playoffs, and you like the big reason is because your fucking goaltending is not that great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, it's Rasmus Dahlin's fucking contract here, and he's gonna probably be a fucking monster.
He's gonna light it up.
Oh my god! Does he hit a hundo? I don't think he does, but I think he's gonna be a point per game. He was just under this past season.
He doesn't have a contract signed already.
I don't
Oh
think
shit,
so.
he doesn't.
No,
I saw
last year of his $6 million deal.
Yeah, I think they were talking. They were between like 8 and 10. I think that
Dude,
was like
it's how much does it suck to be Buffalo and like try and do contract talks, and then people just going, "You get Jeff Skinner fucking $9 million." And like he disappears every other season. So what the fuck are you thinking?
we had to get to the floor.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, and then it's like I know he's talking about like not bringing in like a veteran forward and all that, but it's like I don't hate the idea of possibly bringing Kane.
Yeah.
Kane league minimum because I mean he's not going to be playing until American Thanksgiving around that time. So it's like by then you'll know whether or not you need him or not. And if that's one of those things where it's like one of these lines just isn't clicking the way it is, dude, it's not a bad idea. You could probably get him league minimum $1 million this year.
Yeah, he would fit really well on line 2. Just bump like Victor Olofsson down. I mean, that kid's a fucking just goal scorer. You put him on the third line, he'll probably be okay. He only averages 14 minutes last year. And then you bump down one of the third line guys and maybe like Semgus Girgensons. I don't know why they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna hold on to him forever.
Dude, he's a first ballot all-star.
Yeah, right.
Break honestly, the record for all-star votes.
Yeah, like all of Latvia voted for him. So,
I mean, honestly, I think you could drop Middlestad down and you leave Olofsson just because he is that goal.
True.
Cousins and Olofsson, like that's not bad.
Yeah, Dylan Cousins is pretty fucking nasty too. Like he should have probably gone 3rd overall, possibly.
It's crazy.
Kirby Doc.
Thompson's 6'6", Tuck's 6'4", Middlestead 6'1", Cousins is 6'3", Jordan Greenway, who they have, is 6'6". Like they fucking Owen Power 6'6".
Yeah, their defense is all 6 foot and bigger besides Connor Clifton.
Yeah.
They're a big team, man. And like their skill is like they have a very, very high skill level too. It's so weird watching Tage Thompson like dangle around people because it looks like Bambi or just like a giraffe just like trying to fucking stay afloat.
None of it looks like he knows what he's doing until the end. Like
until he goes in.
And all of that. Like it wasn't just like he was tripping and like pushed it somewhere else. Like, God, dude, I love Tage Thompson. I love
accidental.
Yeah, he absolutely made me fucking feel foolish for saying that his deal is going to be such a terrible contract. It's man, probably one of the best in the league actually now. Like, goddamn.
For last year, I drafted him, dropped him. He went on 2 back-to-back like 4 or 5 point games. I was like, all right, I'll pick you back up, and then he took off after that. So,
and he's just on his first year of this new deal as well. So, geez, it's a 7-year deal, and I mean, 3 years into this, you're going to be like, man, he is getting criminally underpaid because the cap's going to go up so much.
Yeah. So, all right. Now we're moving on to playoff teams from the Atlantic Division last year. Next up, the Florida Panthers, who finished 42, 32, and 8, 92 points. And as we all know, lost in the Stanley Cup final. I guess the main thing with them is can they build on the run that they had last year in the playoffs? Or is it going to be more of what we saw during the first half of the season?
That team, like, I don't know, because they lost a lot and they brought in like some questionable like players. Let's see. So the only thing that they did this offseason trade wise was they sent Anthony Duclair to San Jose. And then, so Jesus Christ, they ended up losing Mark Stahl, I mean, Patrick Hornqvist retired. He wasn't really doing anything. Radko Gudas.
Eric
Uh, what?
Eric Stahl.
Oh, he's just not signed anywhere right now though. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like they brought in like Ekman Larson, Anthony Stolars. They brought in Evan Rodriguez.
I feel like Evan Rodriguez is like
Mike Riley, Dmitry Kulikov.
I feel like Evan Rodriguez is like a solid replacement for Duclair, but he's just like a little less skilled. Like Duclair's got skill, and once he came back to the lineup, like it was a huge fucking boost to them. Like you could tell it was just a fucking so much added talent and like confidence when he came back to the lineup. So it's gonna be interesting to see what Rodriguez does down there. It's just like this team, just like last year, they're built for the playoffs.
Yeah.
He can make playoffs.
They just got to get there.
Right. But once they get there, they got those dogs like fucking Ben Reinhardt, Kachuk. Like they were nasty last year. And I mean, who's fucking Radko Gudas, which that sucks because you have OEL and it's like, yeah, OEL's like a defenseman with a big name, but like he doesn't have that dog in him. Like has he ever played in the playoffs? Maybe the bubble year in Arizona?
Yeah, that was it.
Like, so I guess we don't know exactly what he's got in him, but it also depends on two things. Is Spencer Knight going to be okay all season? And is Bob going to be Bob, or is he going to be the Bob that he always is after he wins a Vezina trophy type of thing?
Yeah.
Like,
is it the Bob like, oh shit, he's only getting paid 10 million, or is the Bob is, oh God, he's getting paid 10 million?
Exactly. Yeah. That's huge. Like both of those guys, like there's a lot of question marks around both of those guys, I feel like.
Talking about like how I was saying Rasmus Dahlin's in a contract year, he's gonna probably have a monster season, just like that. Brandon Montour, contract year. He's only making 3.4, 3.5. He almost a point per game last year. He was a monster in the playoffs too on the back end, just putting up the most clutch goals. And I think he's going to just have a sick season too. Holy shit.
What's up, guys? As you know, the show is brought to you by DraftKings, and new customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. Bet just $5 to score $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's code THPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelpline.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Kansas, call 1-800-247-00. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort, on West Virginia, gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. All games regulated by West Virginia Lottery. Please play responsibly in partnership with Hollywood Casino at Charlestown's Race in Connecticut. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after insurance. One boost per eligible game. Opt-in require max bet $50. 10 plus leg required for 100% boost. Eligibility, wagering, deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/baseball terms. Even if you're not going on vacation, summer is all about a vacation state of mind. Whether I want to listen to Luke Combs on repeat or just need to retreat inside my own head for a bit, I love creating my own summer soundtrack by popping in my Raycon wireless earbuds. There's so much going on all summer. Sometimes you need some upbeat music to pump you up before you see people or to stay calm with some guided meditation. I love my Raycon headphones for, listening to my country playlist up on the lake or, any of the great podcasts from the Hockey Podcast Network. Just get to hear all my hockey news. Let me tell you right now, Raycons are the best way to listen. Use earbud tap functions to toggle between 3 customizable sound profiles, noise isolation, and awareness mode. Raycons have a 32-hour battery life, including 8 hours of playtime, so you can listen to what you want when you want for a really long time. They come with custom gel tips for the most comfortable in-ear fit. They start at half the price of other premium audio brands, but they sound just as good. And Raycon comes with a 30-day happiness guarantee, so you really can't lose. Create your own soundtrack with Raycon. Right now, WCB podcast listeners can get 15% off Raycon order at buyraycon.com/THPN. That's buyraycon.com/THPN to save 15% off on Raycons. Buyraycons.com/THPN.
Him just building on what he did last year, and then Kachuk just knowing that like he's probably so fucking pissed still that they lost in the final, and especially because he couldn't fucking play, that I could see him just dragging that team into the playoffs too.
Well, I was gonna say too, this team I kind of feel like you kind of saw in the playoffs, so they're gonna go as far as Kachuk's gonna take them.
Yeah,
Like they live and die by Matthew Kachuk, and hopefully, yeah, like you said, that losing the final and not being able to contribute, to help put up a bigger fight against Vegas, that might do something. And it's like I still think this is a playoff team. I just don't think it's gonna. I personally think it's gonna be more like last year, where it's like last day of the season. Let's hope for the Hawks to knock off Pittsburgh and make this happen, kind of thing.
Little Philadelphia in 2010 went in a shootout to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's insane.
And then they go on to beat Boston, just like it, just exact same scenario,
just like it. You guys got anything else for Florida?
Right. I mean, if another thing is, can Aaron Ekblad stay healthy for the whole season?
Yeah,
that's a big one. Who else? Their bottom six isn't anything impressive. The top six, like, I don't know. Sam Reinhart put up 67 points, but like I don't know when he actually scores. But like I don't pay attention to Florida too much. But like in the playoffs, I feel like he kind of disappeared, except for the fact that like after I said that, they fucking Ekblad, Reinhart, and Sam Bennett all ended up scoring. I was like, oh my god, okay, never mind.
Yeah, someone's got to give for them, because look at, I mean, they don't potentially have a first round pick through 2026. They don't have a second round pick this year. It's like they traded all their assets to go all in, and it's like they have nothing to show for it, really.
Does Carter Verhaeghe put up another 40-goal season?
Yeah.
He was another guy that did look good in the playoffs last year.
He did. He scored the game winner against Boston, so
you know what this is actually kind of giving me the same vibe of is Nashville after that one season, when it was just like everything went right for Nashville, and you're like, yeah, they could do it again if all these guys have these same years.
Oh, just Nashville last year.
Yeah, and then like last year they dropped off massively. Like I could totally see that happening too. I kind of have that same vibe.
I mean, we know Kachuk can put up 100 plus points. He's done it year after year right now. But yeah, can the other guys that contributed like much more last season do it again this year?
I don't want like the Panthers to do well, because they were so much fun to watch last year, obviously for that whole run. But like, and also I don't want to sound like an idiot later on during the season, but I don't think this is a playoff team. Like I get that's exactly the vibes I'm getting, is like Nashville. After they all had careers like seasons, like it's just, I don't know, like everything just aligned perfectly for them last year, to where it's like you don't catch lightning in a bottle twice.
Yeah. I mean, even just looking at their defensive core, like outside of Ekblad and Montour, like
they're fine.
I would just be like, yeah, like you're probably gonna have Ekblad and Montour play close to fucking 28 minutes a night if you're gonna end up wanting to win a bunch of games, because I mean, Gustav Forsling's like, okay, I don't know, like Ekman Larson, like he got bought out for a reason. Like he's not the guy that was in Arizona.
He's a fine defenseman. I mean, like I said, it's like the thing with him is that he had that massive contract, which was making people be like, oh, he sucks. He's not, because he's never is going to play up to that contract. So now that he's playing a little bit more of a contract level that he should be, I think he's going to be fine. I don't like, he's not going to blow anybody away, but I don't think he's going to fucking struggle.
They also have 2 defensemen signed after this season. Just hilarious.
Yeah. I feel like they're like Florida's probably going to be like an all-in kind of team right now.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a pick this upcoming draft until the 3rd round. You don't have a first round pick until 2026, like you were saying. And then you have so many guys that like could end up just walking at the end of the season. that like this is probably going to be like an all in year for him.
You just did that 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, right.
And you're technically over the cap right now too, so it's like you don't have much to play with.
That none of that means anything. Every fucking team's over the cap right now.
Yeah, no biggie.
Well, I'm just saying. All right. Moving on. We'll stick in Florida. Tampa Bay Lightning last year finished 46, 30, and 6 for 98 points. First round playoff exit. Will the extra rest benefit this team, and can we see them go on a run again?
It definitely going to benefit them getting knocked out in the first round. It's definitely going to benefit them this year having that extra time. I think at least.
Yeah.
But I mean, you lose. You lost one of your biggest guys, honestly, Alex Killorn, through like honestly all the way back to the 2015 Stanley Cup run that they had. Like he was a big part of that. Like, so that's going to be interesting to see because that's a glue guy for them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that guy that just fills in and is just loved in the locker room and it's just like a local hero type guy. And then losing Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, Ian Cole, just some depth there. But
Ross Colton went to Colorado. Corey Perry went to Chicago. They lost a lot of depth.
Pat Maroon to Minnesota.
Yes, right. I forgot about
that. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Tanner Jeannot, can he stay healthy? Adding Connor Sheary, I mean, that guy's been there before. Nick Paul, what can he bring? Is he going to be a little bit of a bust again, or can he figure it out?
Hagel's in the last year of his contract now too. He put up 64 in 81 games last year, fucking 30 goals, 34 assists. He's so fucking good.
Yeah.
He's going to get increased role too with Killorn gone. So, I mean, he's really going to have a chance to get paid.
They brought in Calvin DeHaan, who, I mean, we saw him in Chicago. Like, he knows how to block shots. He'll eat the fucking puck. He also hits. He'll play the body. Like, their defense is going to be still fucking huge. That Nick Perbix kid, who they brought in, or not who they brought in, but who like really made a name for himself last year in his rookie season. And that's the whole reason why they traded Cal Foote. Like, Cal Foote, it was his spot on the roster, like, until like he just decided he was going to get outplayed by Perbix, and then that kid just fucking is going to be good.
And then the biggest thing too is,
are you kidding me?
They still have Vasilevsky in that.
Yeah.
I mean, not only that, you have Vasilevsky in that. You have Victor Hedman as your top defenseman. You have Steven Stamkos, Braden Point, and Nikita Kucherov. Like, that was 5.
Your core is there.
Yeah, Nikita Kucherov putting up a quiet 113 points last year. Like, I didn't know he hit the 100-point mark. And then like we've talked about it before, but like Braden Point hitting 51 goals is insane.
Nobody's at all.
I'm curious to know if Hedman's gonna have like that down of a year again, or will the extra rest help him? Because he only had 49 points last year.
Yeah, these guys needed it. Like, if there was any team that needed it, it was these guys. Like,
yeah,
all of them are fighting injuries for so long. Like, I mean, Vasilevsky's played how many fucking games over the past like 5 seasons? Yeah. I mean, could you name me the backups of the last 5 seasons?
Curtis McElhinney, Brian Elliott, Dwayne Rollison. I don't know.
Louis Domingue.
Louis Domingue. Yeah, that's right.
It's just, and they probably have a combined like less than 80 games played.
Dude, like, it's also Brent Seabrook's contract year, so you think he's gonna have a monster season just to re-up on the next one, right?
He knows how to win a cup and get a new contract. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's just this until like I said, those 5 guys in for Tampa are gone. This is a playoff team, and they can do anything that they want to, just because I know we've seen it. You know, I once they got over that hump after Columbus and they won in 2020, it was off. Like, it was their league. It was their league after that.
I would really like them to miss the playoffs though, because we have their first overall or their first rounder.
That'd be sick.
Just have it sit right at 11. That'd be good. I'll take it.
the extra rest, and then we'll talk about it in a couple teams here. Boston turned into Boston. It's like they are prime right now to get back to the top of this division, and it's going to be really fun to watch them again this year. And hopefully the rest is good. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, I really don't want them to win because we still got the first pick, but it's like it's fun to watch those guys because they're so fucking good.
They're very skilled. It's scary when they're clicking like they did in like 2020 and 21, and you're just like, why would you even want to play this team? Like they're so fucking good. It's crazy.
It kind of goes along. I forget who was it. Suter up in Calgary. It's kind of like the same thing when he was talking about playing in Colorado. Why waste 4 days? Like like this team's just, they're just so fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
I love Braden Point, and I hate that. Like, he just sneakily has so many good seasons every year and is one of their best playoff guys every single year. He's just fucking phenomenal, and nobody talks about him.
Yeah. Probably one of the most underrated players in the league.
Yeah, I would say. And he actually
95 points last year. He probably breaks 100 this season.
Probably if he stays healthy. And
he was healthy all last year, only hit 95, but
only 95.
Yeah.
Into that, like,
what a
do it again.
95 points only. Come on.
I'm surprised. Stamkos only missed 1 game. Point didn't miss any, and Kucherov didn't miss any. Jesus, that whole line's over a point per game. That's what you want out of a first line. That's such a good first line.
You pay him.
All right. Now we're moving on to the 2 big teams in this division last season, at least. First up, Toronto, 50, 21, and 11, 111 points. And hey, a second round playoff exit. They finally got the monkey off their back. They moved it on to round 2. Here's the question though: is there even more pressure for them to win now?
I'd say no, because I feel like everybody's going to expect the first round exit out of them again. Honestly, like I feel like I don't know.
I'm curious to see how they handle this first season with Dubas gone. There's just like so much, like obviously the main guys are still there, but there's a lot of turnover in like the role players, like losing the guys that you brought in at the trade deadline, like Noah Chari, Ryan O'Reilly, Eric Gustafson, Bunting's gone now, Victor Met's gone, Kerfoot's gone, Luke Shen, who they brought in, is gone. And then like they bring in Martin Jones. They bring in Max Domi, Tyler Bertuzzi, John Klingberg, and Ryan Reeves. It's such a jumble fucking, like, what is happening?
So it's definitely like, what the fuck? But I would argue they were beating the same drum over and over again with the same guys, and Dubas leaving, they obviously have changed the type of players that they want. Like they're going out and getting Tyler Bertuzzi, Max. They're playoff fucking dogs. Like those are the guys that are gonna fucking grit for you. Like Bertuzzi for the Bruins last year. I know they got knocked out in 7, but like Bertuzzi was fucking nuts in that series. And like
his whole time in Boston, he had 16 points in 21 games, then 10 points in 7.
Dude, he had Marchand saying, he's like, yeah, man, I like let him do his thing. I can just sit back and do nothing. Like Marchand was even like, what the fuck, dude?
No, like they definitely, moving on from Dubas, they definitely learned their lesson finally, which I think Dubas would have moved on from. It sounded like if he would have stayed, but like I don't know if he would have made these types of moves. The Ryan Reeves one's still strange to me. But the Bertuzzi and Domi ones, I love those moves. That top 6 is fucking gross.
I'm telling you, like their team 3 years from now, their forward core is David Kampf, Cale Yarncroc, and Ryan Reeves. It's like that's where you go building. That's what you do.
That's how you get out of town, baby.
Yeah, I mean, they just got. First of all, they're still over the cap. They brought in Martin Jones, which is like so odd to me, but I don't know.
I mean, for that price though, I feel like that's a good pickup for that price.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have. I mean, Wool is like
Mark
he's
Giordano is fucking 39. He's gonna be 40 when the season starts.
He wasn't
like,
bad last year. They overused him though. Like he got tired. You could tell he physically.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna have a full season now with Jake McCabe on the back end too.
yeah.
Yep.
And he had a great year last year, man. Like he was fun to watch when he was
Yep.
a Hawk. I fucking liked him a lot.
And
Sam
he was,
Lafferty is gonna have the whole season now on that team too.
when McCabe moved to Toronto, it was exactly what you saw in Chicago. Like he
Yeah.
didn't phase him whatsoever. Um, you get a full season on Matthew Nyes. That kid's fucking
Yeah. Yes.
is so good.
He is.
Right now on Cap Friendly, they have him projected on the fourth line, which makes zero sense to me whatsoever. I don't think he's breaking the top 6, but you
No.
can't put Matthew Nyes, a fucking 20-year-old just out of college, on the same line as Ryan Reeves. Like you
Yeah,
can't,
right.
like you cannot do that.
No. That's a weird one. I think like I mean obviously he's gonna get top 6 minutes the second anybody gets hurt. Hopefully nobody gets hurt because like nobody wants that ever.
Or
Oh my god! I just looked up. I was trying to see what Robertson's injury was. You know, he was born on 9/11.
oh, never forget.
What Nick Robertson was?
Yeah, November 11, 2001.
Wow.
Jesus.
The parents to say it was the happiest day of their lives, huh? He had a shoulder.
Shoulder, yeah, okay, 6 months, and that was January 16th. Oh, so he'll be good to go.
Yeah. Muzzin's gonna be out again. Matt Murray's done.
I
Fucking
feel like they should move on from Nick Robertson because the kid needs a chance, and especially with Matthew Nyes coming in, this isn't the lineup where he's going to get it.
yeah.
And you assets, like you're not going to clear up cap space, obviously, but like because he doesn't make much. But
Would you but I mean, should they hold on to him, especially with the whole Nylander situation being up in there? Like, you're gonna need that offense to possibly plug back in there.
that's fair. That's a fair point.
But they have to make some sort of move before the
They need
season
to.
starts, right? Like
Yeah,
they
because
have
they even with LTR candidates, they're still like almost 3 million over.
yeah. But every single person that has any kind of cap on that team has a modified no trade clause or no movement clause.
Yeah.
Like David Kampf has a modified no trade clause.
Reeves, Lafferty,
what?
Knives, Holmberg, and Grambrel, whatever, are the only
Gambrel?
ones that have no movement clause, that don't have no movement clause. That's fucking insane. I know Stan Bowman was up into Toronto. Jesus Christ.
2 of those guys are under $1 million too.
It's
like,
I mean I like the moves of Bertuzzi and Domi, especially since they're only 1-year deals, because I mean you don't know what this team's gonna look like next year, especially with like Austin Matthews' contract up in the air currently and fucking Willie Nylander. Like what
and Marner next year, and Tavares next year.
Yeah. They're getting hit hard the next 2 years.
Like you gotta move on from Tavares, right? Like you can't pay Tavares.
Oh no,
like you're gonna pay these guys that are gonna be still in like their 20s, and he's
unless
gonna be
Tavares
like
is gonna
35.
Tavares is gonna take like a Spessa type deal to stay in Toronto, there's no fucking way you keep him.
He's not, because he could still make like 4 or 5 million, I think, somewhere.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think so too. But I don't. If he wants to stay in Toronto, it's gonna have to be like, or be like a Bergeron. Oh, if I play 10 games, you give me all these bonuses. Like,
I don't know. Adding John Kleinberg is interesting.
Yeah,
because
I mean, not having Justin Hull is going to be huge.
Huge.
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm so happy about that. But it's like I don't know. Every year, it's like their defense isn't like great, but it's not like terrible. And now I'm looking at it, and like when I first got Kleinberg, I was like, this doesn't really make sense to me. But now, like, you got Riley Brody, you got your offensive defenseman and stay home guy. You got Kleinberg, McCabe, same exact situation. Then you got Liljegren, Giordano, same exact situation. So I mean, I don't hate their D actually, but you just don't know what you're getting out of the goaltending. You really don't.
Oh yeah.
Like Samsonov can be on or he could not be on. And Joseph Wall just doesn't have the experience yet. I think he's going to be a good goaltender, but he's just not there yet, honestly.
And that's why the Jones moves makes more sense now too. And plus, when he was on last year with Seattle, I mean, he was fucking on. Like he was a huge reason Seattle took that jump up last year to be a playoff team.
It's crazy because he went 27-13, but his stats are only like a 2.99 goals against average and an 8.86 save percentage. But he has like 66% win percentage.
Because
with the team in front of him.
Yeah.
He's not a great goaltender.
But with the team that Toronto has in front of him, that definitely falls into it doesn't matter who you have in net. You just need a body in net.
That's exactly. Every year, so we can outscore you.
Yeah.
So, Nolly, anything else you want to throw in about Toronto?
This could either go really, really well with this lineup or not well at all, and things could go bad really quick, and guys could get traded because of the contract situations. So it's going to be. I think it's either one way or the other this year for these guys. But I think it's also an all-in year just because of the contract situation.
They have a lot of guys coming off the book next year, so they gotta do it. All right, then we're gonna wrap up the Atlantic preview with the Boston Bruins, who set the NHL record last year for points in a season, finishing 65, 12-5 for 135 points, and then losing the first round. Nick Foligno still says my favorite soundbite of the offseason. Hey, we won as many playoff rounds as the Blackhawks did last year, so it's fine. Fucking love it. Is this finally the downfall that we've been talking about? I feel like for a couple of years in Boston. Is this finally the year that they start falling off and are out of contention?
I hope so.
I just don't see how Boston comes even close to repeating what they did. This is going to be like a Jonathan Huberdeau trade to Calgary type point differential that Boston will end up this upcoming season, because if they fucking hit 80 points, I think it'll be a good season for them. And I'd say 80 or probably 90. Let's say 90. If they hit 90 points, that'll be a good season for them, but I don't know if they fucking can do that.
I was going to say, and the way that division went last year, which I'm assuming is going to go the same this year, 90's got not enough.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, man, it's just losing Bergeron and Krejci. We all knew it was coming, but like, that's tough.
That's the biggest hit.
Boom, and boom, like back to back like that too. Ooh.
And you bring in like JVR and Milan Lucic, like that's your saving grace on the like two of your biggest.
Shattenkirk, Lucic, JVR. What is it? Logan Brown? Or is they bringing? Fuck, where is he? I don't even see him.
Patrick Brown.
Patrick Brown. Yeah. That guy's not even. It just said Brown signs a contract. Okay, yeah, that guy just gets penalties. Yeah, I mean, you brought in Ian Mitchell and Alec Regular, so those are huge.
That's huge. And for Boquet.
Yeah, dude. This team's gonna hit a steep drop off because that center depth is just not there. It's not. And like you said, like JVR, Lucic, Shattenkirk, like those aren't answers to like losing what Connor Clifton, fucking who else? I can't even think. Garnet Hathaway, fucking where's the other one? Tyler Bertuzzi. Oh, fucking Nick Foligno, Taylor Hall, like duh. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
they should have kept Taylor Hall. They should have kept Taylor Hall with this downfall because they probably could have got a first overall pick out of it.
Yeah, man, this team's gonna take it pretty hard, I think.
Because man, and it sucks only because I really like Pastrnak and I don't want to see him on a shit team. But it's also the Bruins, and I don't like him that much. Like, I really like. It's time. Like, go away, please. Like, go full. Like, you. Okay, Bergeron and Krejci weren't young guys, but like they lost those guys and went full on Pittsburgh on. Let's just be the oldest team we could possibly be, and just added a bunch of old guys. Like,
Yeah.
Their moves don't make sense to me. I don't know how you don't go out and get a center other than Morgan Geeky. Like that's the best you could do for a center, and that's your third line center. Like we'll see what Allmark and Swayman can do with this team. Obviously they were unreal last year, but
I mean, there's a 0% chance that they do what they did last year, and that there's not even like you can't even.
Well, you don't have
argument.
Krejci and you don't have Bergeron down the center, who are both two very good like two-way kind of guys. I mean, Bergeron obviously the fucking like best of all time. Like not having that kind of guy, like oh man, it's gonna be really weird to see Bergeron not out there, and then them possibly struggling.
Did you guys see the video of the fan in Boston, and he's driving past a store and it's got like a Bergeron like poster on the window, and he just stops and he just like puts his hand on it. It's just like
it's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I think it's time.
Beat it.
All right. You guys got anything else for them?
No.
Just
I forgot to start the timer on that one, so
was years of them knocking the Leafs out in the first round. They get knocked out in the first round, and doesn't look like they're gonna be a playoff team next year. So I feel good.
All right. So we're gonna wrap this up here with totally early, unrealistic, not gonna hold anybody to it. Top 3 and bottom 3 of this division.
Oh, and bottom 3. Okay.
Yeah, I threw that in last second. I thought that was a good one.
In the middle.
Yeah, just the middle two, and whatever. So let's go, Tanner. Who are your top 3? And it does not have to be in a certain order. Just because you say one team first doesn't mean you think they're going to finish first, unless you want to say they're going to finish first.
Buffalo. Fucking, let's go Buffalo. Just fucking 1. I think they might get some surprise. Like if their goaltending can show up and be what they hopefully are not trading for Gibson for. I mean, in a couple weeks he could end up on the team anyway. That'd be fantastic. Toronto, Tampa, because those teams are still just stacked.
Nolly?
Same top 3. Honestly, I got Toronto, then Tampa, then Buffalo, in that order.
I mean, Ottawa could sneak in. Like I said, I like them on paper.
All right.
I think the wild card for this division is going to be real fucking tight.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also see it not coming on this division at all, and the Metro is just a fucking beast of another like. Oh god. All right, I got. I'm the same.
You had there.
Yeah, I right. Fucking lost it.
I give it. Give it up.
Yeah. Top 3 is I have the same order as Nolly, Toronto, Tampa, Buffalo.
Yeah.
Toronto's just too good right now, and it's just as long as they click, whatever is going to be great. Tampa Bay, I think, is got a lot to prove. Buffalo could be fun, but I can also see them being really bad. Nothing surprised me.
I don't see Buffalo being really bad this year.
I don't know. Nothing surprised me with Buffalo.
I think I see them. I see them getting more than 91, which is what they had last season.
Just stay away from that 10-game losing streak. That's all they got to do.
Yeah, honestly, just make it 9. You'll be fine.
Exactly.
You would have been in the fucking playoffs. Make it a 9-game losing streak. You're fine.
All right. How about your guys' bottom 3?
Montreal.
Yeah.
Detroit and Boston.
Yeah. No.
You don't think so?
I got Ottawa.
You think Ottawa will still be bottom 3 in that division?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it. I like Ottawa a little bit too much.
Korpisalo actually scares me because I think he's going to steal the show up there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just how I have it right now.
I have it Montreal, Boston, then Detroit.
Ooh.
No, I don't like Detroit at all. But
I think they're more of a complete team right now than Boston. They at least have solid centers.
Yeah.
Who's their second line center?
better than whoever fucking
Larkin's just the best of like the 8 centers.
Yeah. I don't know. They have a little more depth than Detroit, I would say, but we'll see.
I don't know. It's hard. Yeah, like it's hard to count out Pasta because he could just do stupid shit.
That's
JT Comfer is their
second
line.
Yeah. Still, he's better than Halazaka and Charlie Coyle, I think.
And Andrew Copp's their third line. I still think he's better than.
If Marchand gets fucking suspended this year, that team is gonna hit a fucking such a losing streak.
They're fucked.
It's just gonna be Pasta fucking trying to carry like 11 forwards with him.
The more we talk about it, the more I want to put Boston like underneath Montreal. Just cause.
Boston just finishes like close to the bottom of the league. It's first overall. Macklin Celebrini. It's like, all right, never mind. Guess we're just gonna be bottom of the league for like a season.
All right, well, that's episode 237. Tanner, what do you want to call it?
It's easy, man. It's just Atlantic Preview 2023. That's all I gotta do. Like, with this, we don't have to be.
You're not gonna make a pun with it or anything?
Fucking nope. It's gonna be Detroit's year, so it's DeBrincat's season, so it's the Catlantic. DeBrincatlantic preview. No, fuck yeah. See, it's just that's stupid. We already did a cat thing. It's
forcing me
dumb. Yeah, just Atlantic preview 2023 because I mean we'll do another one next year. It's gonna be 2024.
All right, fair enough. All right, so make sure to follow us on social media at WCB Podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, and wherever you listen to your podcast. Follow the Hockey Podcast Network. Use promo code THPN at DraftKings and Raycon. New tic-tac-toe is posted today. I uploaded the wrong version without the actual results in it. Yesterday, yeah. Sorry. New WC Bogies video out tomorrow as well. We'll see next week. Metro Division, probably. We might have a bonus episode too. Yeah, might have a bonus episode too next week.
Oh, cool.
We'll see you on the next one.
All right. Love you, boys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jarom and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.